This is episode 107 of Noodle Time. Welcome back. Here with me is the mileage tracker that had to stay at home, OSG. How's it going, sir?
Yeah. What's up, man? I was all right staying home this weekend with no games. Only Dose in Dallas, and I didn't travel to follow that. But it was a Premier League weekend, so opening weekend. So just sit at home and watch some good soccer. And you had some other games, some other leagues playing too. But I just really watched Premier all weekend and just chilled, and that was it. Texas soccer started back up too, so they've played 2 games already. So getting back into that as well.
Man, the Premier League is starting out. La Liga is starting out. All the major leagues across Europe are starting up. College soccer is starting up. College football is about to start. Man, we're about to get crazy again. Oh man, just not a lot of material this week, although we do have a few things to talk about, mostly coming from those and stuff to look forward to this week. But for me, though, like obviously we had like this somewhat slow week, and I was just been like sitting back, still trying to breathe from just the sheer amount of sports we got from the past couple months. And but still, I couldn't just help it because I had to watch as many games as I could from the couch, but yeah, I'm happy that soccer in Europe is back.
Yeah. You wake up and watch soccer, and then you come back to the Americas and watch soccer some more. So it's a good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, the grind restarts. But other than that, let's get into it, man, because we do have to talk about those. They're the only team that played this week. They lost 4-1 to North Texas SC in Arlington. That game was interesting to say the least. Didn't go our way, obviously, but just the way it played out. You look at it on paper, it looked like the team that was the one that were trying to get a result. But you look at the highlights or rather the full replay, it's just like, yeah, nothing worked for us, and it's kind of like we are just unlucky.
Yeah, you can consider it unlucky because they were actually playing better. They played a little bit better than North Texas did the entire game. Their shot opportunities were not good shot opportunities. They did take a couple of good ones and force a couple of good saves. They just couldn't finish. And in this game, it was the defensive shape that was a complete failure in the second half and gave up those goals. Where your team pushing up, but they're not retreating back and defending, and those kept getting caught, and North Texas was able to score. And it's easy when you have the numbers, and then you don't have midfielders tracking back to stop those runners to come into your defense. It's going to be difficult. I don't remember if it was the first or the second goal. Sargent made a complete boneheaded mistake and left his man wide open on the wing and stepped forward to a guy, that was 10 yards outside the box, and then that dude just passed to the guy that Sargent was marking, and they scored. I think it was the first one. Maybe, but yeah, might have been, whatever. The one in the low corner, but it was just like, man, defense was just not there last night, and it was the back line was left fending for themselves and putting Xavier Valdez in bad situations and goals you couldn't stop, nothing you could do about it, and Valdez particularly didn't have that good of a game as well either. But otherwise, offensively, it was a bright side. Defensively, you got to be shaking your head when you've been trying to get both of the sides to work, and the defense has been okay.
Yeah, there's like for me, like it kind of looked like a game just going back to early in the year where we just weren't taking advantage of the opportunities, unfortunately, and those mistakes kind of costed us the game again. And I feel pretty bad because it was clear that they were doing their best to get a result out of Arlington, and obviously they're playing against the best team in the Western Conference here, so it was going to be either way a big job for them, especially with the light play approach you're doing right now. But it definitely sucks. And you did mention Xavier Valdez. I also think like he didn't have his best game here. His second game back from the Olympics, and still no sign of broken reins yet. And and yeah, we still have to wait for him. The one player that I want to highlight though was Diego Gonzalez because he did record his ninth assist of the year in the only goal of the game from to Sebastian Rodriguez. He got sent off at the 86th minute. I need you to explain to me what the heck was that, man? Because like it looks so well. The whole sequence when the referee was just like stop play, wait like a minute or two to relax, and then he just showed a second yellow to Diego Gonzalez. For me, I was like, you should have done it right away. But I want to hear from you because you're the referee, obviously.
Yeah, well, the way he did that was just baffling, and you didn't know, like unexpected. So you're kind of wondering what was the yellow card for, because he didn't give a yellow card at first when you expected the Diego that came in and pushed that guy who made the bad tackle, which was a pretty hard tackle. So he immediately gets carded, but then Diego comes in and pushes that guy. And he kind of pushes him kind of high. So you're expecting him to get a card for that, and then he's setting up for the free kick. Everybody else got a card. That guy got a card, and then
Yeah,
I doubt he says something right there, because I was watching and it didn't look like he was talking to the ref, but you can't tell. He was looking down and he might have said something to the ref and just not might have been looking at him. But I think it was just that was a weird sequence, and I didn't even look to see what the technical yellow card was to see if it what he was getting carded for, but to see what the report was. But weird sequence, like you said. So now he's got to miss the next game at home, and which is a big one. But yeah, tough game to lose, especially to a rival. A game that you could have set a trend for your team for the remaining games. That's only 8 games going into this one left, and you're still out of the playoff line. And you could have stole some points from this game and set a trend, maybe make a playoff run. First get to the playoffs and then make a little bit of a run and build off the momentum. But no, it turned the opposite way, and 4-1, and just a complete defensive collapse there in the second half. And Sebastian's goal was pretty, but even though it was an accident, but it was pretty.
it was, and a goal's a goal. But
Hell yeah, that's why he didn't celebrate. That's why he didn't celebrate, really, because he's like, I didn't mean to shoot. So as he was crossing the ball, and it would look like a perfect drop, and it got the keeper. So I mean, it's a goal. It's a beautiful goal, man. So, but yeah, you're like, boom, that's what you do. It's like you score a banger, but if you used to play for somebody that you score that banger against, and you kind of don't celebrate, but hey, I didn't mean to shoot, but I scored, so I'm just gonna chill.
Hey man, strikers nowadays, so just like goal scorers nowadays are just too humble, man. They don't want to take all the credit, and they're just gonna say, "I didn't mean to shoot," but it's always planned, no matter what. But yeah. Just looking into this week, we are playing 2 games, one on Wednesday, one on Sunday, both at home against Minnesota United too, because one of those games have to be rescheduled. This is pretty much going to define the season here. Like, I don't think losing one of these games is going to do a lot of damage for Houston's hopes, unless after results help. But like coming out of this result, 2 wins will be pretty big. But this is pretty much going back to back.
And Minnesota's a tough team, and then one of those you said is a reschedule from when Minnesota was in the Open Cup and the games were too close together. So that's why they're that one. But man, it's crunch time, sitting in 10th place with 26 points. 8th place has 32 points. You're 6 points behind with 7 games to go. You do have a game in hand over that 8th place team, but I mean, you're chasing Sporting KC as well. So, and of course, you got people right behind you. So you still have a rivalry game in Austin coming up as well. So it's not an easy schedule that you get in with those as well. So it's not very confident right now, but they're going to have to figure it out and keep trying. And that's up to Kenny Bundy. He's got his options ahead of his players, and there's not really anybody missing. You have Ventura County coming up on the schedule as well at home. So the return of Achara, who's been playing for Ventura already. that's going to be fun to see. But yeah,
Man,
well,
I'm
like
also
Andre,
look. Yeah,
put up it's Minnesota United Wednesday and Sunday, so hopefully you can take that, especially playing a common opponent back to back like that. You can use that momentum, get 2 wins if you can, and build off of it. Especially now, you have to. 7 games left in the season, you have to. We'll see.
yeah. I was gonna say I have that game against Austin circled on my calendar. Not obviously because I'm gonna be there no matter what, but yeah, it's Friday night, man. It's gonna be great, and we need to
Yep.
beat them finally in Austin. Please do it. That's
Yeah.
all I ask. If we don't make playoffs, I'm gonna hate that, but please just beat Austin. I'm tired.
Yeah. Well, we'll just need to start a trend, and Dose can win their first game in Austin, and the first team come in later that month, and the first game in Austin as well. So let's do a double.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to that, and a couple of things I'm looking forward to, and 2 rumors to close out the secondary transfer window for Dynamo are 2 rumors relating to Dynamo 2, already confirmed by Tom Bogert, friend of the show. So it's pretty much going to happen no matter what. And we have these haven't been officially announced as we are recording this one on Sunday night, but we do have a couple rumors to talk about. One of those players we're already familiar with, Exon Arzu. He's reported being signed to a first team contract with the Dynamo. And very exciting. For me, it's very alleviating because he's been missing a lot of time for Dynamo too because uh, he was pretty much injured for like the past couple months. We haven't been able to see him play, unfortunately. But for the people that have been seeing him for the start of the year, absolutely explosive player that is not afraid to run 1v1 against defenders like on the wing. He's just a pretty good talent to keep an eye on. As of for the first team, I don't think he's going to be getting any time soon, but he's definitely going to get a lot of time for the second team 100% whenever he gets back.
Well, I was like, first off, he's still hurt. He's still got
Yeah.
some time out before he can return. And the first team contract is probably for next year, anyways. It's not going to be for this year to begin with. So if he does return, and Dose is able to make the playoffs, it would be probably just for Dose, and then he'd immediately train with the first team in the preseason and off season, and come out and be ready to go. And it'll be interesting how he is going to be utilized. But timing, it was. Hey, it's coming towards the end of the season. They know what his recovery rate is. They're probably not going to see him again for the rest of the season, and he is on, and he probably has some interest coming in. So it's a necessary move, and like you said, an exciting move too, because he's electric, he's explosive, and the moves Pat making now, man. So you get us out from under all this BS that you took the team over with, and it did take you 2 years to do it. But man, now you're just cooking. Him and Asher and the team and the technical advisors and just everything. They're just cooking and bringing in some explosive talent now, man. With Nolly, obviously Arzu, which they found previously, but now they're gonna lock down. You're gonna have another rumor. You're gonna say he's electric as well. There's it just Ponce not electric, but he could be something that could be affordable. But just the signings are hitting A+ right now, and it's exciting times here.
No, yeah, and that second rumor, also another player coming in for Dynamo 2. This was reported by Pipe Sierra this week that 18-year-old Colombian winger Andy Batioja is close to joining the Houston Dynamo, the second team, that is. And Atlético Nacional, which is his team back in Colombia, will send him on a 1-year loan with option to buy. Obviously, this is a 1-year loan, so it's pretty much going to be like a low risk thing. But just looking at the highlights for this player, and man, that option to buy is bound to get triggered like next year. And this guy looks like a speed beast. I look forward to seeing him play for Dynamo 2 whenever he comes in. And man, we're dealing. You said it yourself. Pat and Asher are cooking, and we are here to eat everything, man.
They're trying to build up dough. They're secure happy with the first team roster right now, and they're building up the second team roster. And I'm sure behind the scenes that we don't get privy to see because it's not as public. But working on the academy, we've got some academy players that are representing their international teams at several age groups, not just U.S. National teams either. So it's fun. They're building up for, like Pat said, from top to bottom, and then they'll work their way outwards and see if they can draw even more talent from Houston itself and just fill those holes and be something formidable across the board from U9 all the way up to the first team. So it's fun, man. There can't be many haters left, man. There can't be.
Man, if they hate us, that's just because they're not us, man. They ain't us.
Right. They hate us. They hate
it's
us.
just like that, unfortunately. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, go those. We still want you in playoffs, man. But please, just gotta turn things around. Hopefully, if Batioja like joins in time, he can do something. But it's for me, it's not like a big ask because it's like just the timing itself. It's weird.
Yeah, 7 games left. You're playing a weekday game too, so that's even takes less time away because now you're playing 2 games in a week. I think they have another Wednesday game later on. So, yeah, there's no time to come in and save. It's Jones is gonna have to do with what they got and work and try. But 6 points in 7 games, 6 points behind with 7 games to go. I mean, it's doable, but it can't. Yeah, we can't drop points to games you're supposed to win, and we're going to have to be competitive in games where you're not favored and try to steal some points there. And that's the only way it's going to work. But, keep pushing. It wasn't that bad. Just got to get both sides of the ball playing well.
Yep. And looking towards next week, we already discussed the 2 games being played by Dynamo 2. We also have back Dynamo and Dash coming in from a break of a couple weeks. The Dash are up first. If you want to say they need to win here, it's definitely obvious, but they're going to be playing Orlando Pride, one of the hottest teams in the league. Man, still a lot of questions to ask
Orlando
whenever.
Pride, undefeated Orlando Pride.
Yep.
Beat Kansas City in the last game before the Summer Cup started. They were both undefeated at that point, and Orlando Pride won that game. So now we're taking on Orlando Pride. So, yeah, this will be a tough start coming off of league stuff. It'll be a tough test to see where we're at. It's still Ricky Clark's team as we're still searching for Fran Alonso. He's in Siberia somewhere. We just can't get a signal to him to answer the phone and say, hey, you got a team to coach. But, yeah, still hadn't heard where this is. Clark's got the team, and he's doing well with the team. Ryan Gary's returned to training, so you might see her with some late playing time. Depends on what kind of how we're going to use her to see if she's going to be a fit into the team. But I'm excited to get to the season back going, man. It's 10 games left, pushing for the playoff line. But shoot, like you said, man, Orlando Pride, it's going to be a fun.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty much just assuming it's going to be Ricky Bo for the rest of the year until Fran Alonso appears from wherever he is right now. He's probably hiding in your house right now, as far as I know. Yeah, like it's still pretty much Ricky Ball, and I'm also expecting a lot of the players that were out with injuries or excuse absences to return at this point. It's already been a couple weeks, and of course the players that were back at the Olympics for sure. And because we're going to need them 100%, or I've been able to watch a couple Orlando games this year, and they don't joke around. They're gonna outrun. They kind of play like Kansas City in the sense of they're gonna run you thin as much as possible defensively, and we cannot afford any mistakes in the back line because they're gonna destroy you. Man, I'm pretty nervous about this game.
It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be exciting. There's gonna be anticipation. So I'm curious. I'm expecting, like you said, everybody to be back. So I'm looking forward to seeing the availability report on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day it comes out for a Friday game or for the weekend games. So just to see who's still hurt or missing in action still. Speaking of hurt, looks like Kiki Van Zetten's doing pretty good. She was, at the Texas game with a couple of the other players, and didn't have the walking boot on, but you've seen her training and some of her own Instagram videos as well. So that looks good that her recovery's doing well and something to look forward to for next year. But yeah, curious to see, man, who you're going to have back and available for this game coming up, and I hope everybody's back, including all the European players and Olympic players, and ready to go. Because, like I said, we only got a few games left to go through to make a playoff push.
Yeah, this game's gonna be happening on Friday. That's gonna be August 23rd at 7 p.m. Central, and it's gonna be streaming on Amazon Prime Video. So you're gonna need a Prime subscription to watch the game. Just a heads up. Yeah, go Dash. Resume that subscription, or watch it however you want to do it. But yeah, go Dash.
Yeah, through the game. Since you don't have Prime, but let me pull up the standings real quick. I'm supposed to have them ready, and that kind of forgot what I was talking. But like I said, 10 games left. It's bringing it up so slow for some reason now. But all right, anyways, 10 games left. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, we pretty much have to either win out or just like tie one game and win out all the other ones, because the gap is, well, we have to close the gap first and hope that all the teams lose. But we just have to worry about winning, honestly.
Right, we're sitting in 12th. We have 16 points, and they take the top 8. No, sorry, 14 points in 16 games, and they take the top 8, and it's 18 points with Bay that's sitting in 8th place. So I mean, if you're 4 points back, plenty of games left. Like I said, 10 games left. San Diego's above you, Angel City's above you, and then of course you have Olo Rain and Utah chasing you, but they're not worried about the guys behind you. You're only worried about the guys in front of you. So, Fox, I want to take the remaining 10 games, give you a little tidbit about each game, and then just tell me if you think we can get away with a win-loss or a draw right here. And coming back into these 10 games, starting obviously, like you just said, Orlando Pride, we're at home playing the number 1 team who's 11-0-5 in the season. So undefeated, 5 ties. So there's nothing really to say. This is going to be a tough game, and I'm hoping for a draw, but not expecting one. And you kind of already spoke on it already in the preview right here. So we'll just move on. Second game is Utah again at home, and this is their 14th Utah, and this game will be at home. We played Utah, I think, at our game 2 of the season. So rah. This could be very different, but it doesn't look like Utah's playing very well. So I'm expecting to win as well as you.
Yeah.
Then, man, the tough one, man. At Gotham, 4th place Gotham, and we're 1 win, 3 draws. And this one is going to be really tough against Juan Carlos and in Gotham too, who's playing very well, man. So what you got right there with Gotham?
Your favorite coach, man. Well, we are a different team on the road for some reason, so we can definitely fight for it. But it's going to be a pretty tough game either way. I think it's gonna be a draw. That's my hot take.
Yeah, I hope we can get away with a draw on that one. That one's going to be necessary. Got to be competitive too at least. But then the following, playing 3rd place Washington Spirit, man, who's only got 1 draw the entire season. So they don't like up games. So that's again going to be another tough one, right?
It is. Like, it's gonna go back to defense that game, because they have some explosive players that can just mess you up immediately. And I'm also nervous about that game, honestly.
Yeah, it's great. I kind of wish I could go to that game. That would have been interesting and fun, but that's a tough matchup, like you said, in 3rd place. But moving on, we come back home. We played 13th place OL Reign, or now called Seattle. They're winless on the road, so obviously I'm expecting 3 points.
Yeah, this is a game we got to win here.
That's a necessary. Can't give that one away. And then here we go. At least we have Kansas City out of the way, but now we get to go to Orlando.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that one we'll just draw that one up as a loss right there. Just I
Like
don't
I
know.
said earlier, man, we're playing on the road. We could be different, like magically for
That's
some reason.
true.
I cannot explain why, but we just have to wait and see, man.
And I think Orlando has one of the. I think there's three girls chasing for the Golden Boot, and she's one of them. And I can't remember her name either way. Their striker on Orlando Pride,
I
but
think it's Baba Band, I believe. I think.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she's leading her in the top three. So that's another dangerous player that we're going to have to deal with. And Natalie Jacobs is going to have her hands full right there. But in Natalie Jacobs, I trust Jen Campbell's back. So she'll be a goal playing Supergirl. And, now we love, obviously, you see, we love our backup keepers. So we're very proud and happy with our keepers. And so proud and happy with our keepers that I don't know if y'all remember, we gave our keeper coach a permanent job. So, but
Mm-hmm.
moving on, man. After that, we're back home against Chicago. Chicago's seventh place, and they, as you just spoke, are a better team on the road than they are at home. And it's kind of different. They're 3-5-4 at home. They're 4-2-2 on the road. So they're going to come into Houston and play us, and that's going to be the return of Shea Groom as well. I don't know what to look into this game. I'm hoping for a win.
Yeah, I'm still salty about that game in Chicago. That it just looked like it kind of looked weird. It was Ricky
Um,
Clark's first game in charge, but yeah, we still have to win this game no matter what, man. Like we're like the gap is closing, and we just gotta take the result here.
it's a game that you can get your 3 points from, definitely at home, and
Yep.
uh, but this Chicago does play better on the road, so we'll just see what we can get out of that. Just fight, and hopefully we're playing a lot better in that time as well. It's coming down to end of the season. 3 games left in the season, then we go at San Diego, 10th place San Diego, by the way. So they're winless on the road. San Diego is, so they're getting all their points at home, and we have to go to San Diego to play this game. So they're definitely two different teams. So can we get the team that plays on the road at their own house, or what?
I'm sure Bobby's gonna be there watching, so we gotta win this game, man.
She'll probably be playing. Guarantee she'll probably start that game for sure. We'll see. I
No,
don't know how she's
no.
doing now. Haven't been following her just to see what's going on. But so all right. Oil Rain is our next game at Seattle. So again, 13th place. They're 2-2-4 at home. So like I said, they're not doing too well this season, and they don't play well at home either. So it's those could be another 3 points that we could get right there. A necessary 3 points.
Yes, we need to beat Seattle on the road.
Yeah, all right. And then to finish up the season, we'll call it Decision Day. I didn't double check to see if they do Decision Day like MLS and they do them at the same time. I'll be curious. I'll have to check whenever we get off air right here. But we finish up the season against Bay FC, who's sitting in 8th place and that last playoff spot. So this could be very interesting coming down to the last day. I'm hoping that we can get enough points to where we're pushing ourselves above and not having to force our way in on the last day. But that I guess that's a good way to play on the last day at home against Bay FC. Can you get the 3 points?
Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go for the sweep here. We beat them back at their house early in the year, and we need a win here. But that's obviously what I would like.
Yeah. All right. So running through them real quick. So at home against Orlando, you said draw
Yes,
1 point. So and then a home Utah 3 points
win.
win. Okay. At
Yep,
Gotham.
draw.
So all right, we're 5 points at Washington.
I want to say draw, man, but that's gonna be difficult game. I hope it's a
All
draw.
right,
We're on the road, so
we're gonna call it we're
I'm
gonna call it a
optimistic.
loss. Yeah, we're just
All
gonna
right,
call it a loss
all
instead of the homer vision right there. All right, back at home against Seattle,
win.
8. Then we're on the road at Orlando.
You can mark it as a loss, but I have it
Okay.
as a draw again.
All right. Back at home against Chicago.
I'll say win.
11 at San Diego.
I'll say a win too.
14 at Seattle.
Win.
And then home with Bay.
Man, that's a win right there.
So that's 20 points. That gets us 34 points. That has to be more than enough to get us into the playoff run. So 34 points would put us into third place right now. So obviously we wouldn't be able to catch Orlando, KC, and Washington probably. But if we can get 20 points out of that, we're definitely in the playoffs. That's a guarantee. We're taking out teams on the way too as well and pushing our way up. I think we counted 2 losses in there, but they were kind of forced losses. Otherwise, we would have been undefeated in a 10-game span if we would have went with your heart.
Hey man, no biases here, 100%.
Yep. But that's interesting, man. That's the Dash schedule. What we're looking at right there, barring any horrible injuries or anything like that, and the team continuing to evolve and playing well together. I'm expecting the team to come out and play well against Orlando City and look a little bit better and playing better soccer. So hopefully that we can build off of those and continue this last 10-game stretch and get us into the playoffs. I like the schedule, so let's look forward to it and make sure y'all get to as many games as y'all can. Like you said, it's on Amazon, so a lot of you probably don't have the Prime package, so just get to the stadium and go watch the game on Friday night,
You
7
gotta go to the
o'clock.
stadium, yeah.
Yeah, get there.
Yeah, you just gotta be there.
But that's what's up with the Dash, man. So looking forward to it, getting out there and seeing what we can do, and very curious as to if we can get enough of those points. Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah. And Dynamo are back on Saturday. And
Woohoo!
it felt like
Doubleheader
forever
weekend.
since they played. Yeah, doubleheader weekend back in Houston. So you guys are forced to go to both games. If not,
Technically,
shame on you.
technically
Yeah,
triple header. Technically triple header weekend. If you throw
right.
Dose in there.
Well, you could even call it like four header because we're playing on Wednesday, then on
Yeah,
Friday,
yeah,
then on
yeah,
Saturday, then on Sunday. So
yeah.
it's no complaints. No
Yeah, yeah.
complaints. But
Damn.
yeah, we are playing Toronto FC on Saturday, and the Toronto is they had a pretty bad start of the year, and they've been able to climb to the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference. There's a team that has been in a pretty weird situation, but I feel like they can bring like their X factor here. But this is a 1-0 game. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they are 8th place in the East, uh, so they're decent. They're in that playoff line, so obviously they're decent. But and whenever I said they're 8th place, you're probably like, really, they're that far up. But you already knew from looking at the standings yourself. But everybody else is like, Toronto is 8th place. I thought they were a sorry team. Well, I guess they're a quiet sorry team, but they're in 8th place, so could be interesting to see what we got. So I'm trying to do some little research on the Toronto team and see if we can figure out who they are. But it's a home game at least, coming off a League Cup. The boys are rested. Nobody's hurt. Expected Coco to return. So let's get with it and let's come out and score some goals and win this game easily.
Yeah, and the schedule itself, I would say for the next 6 games, it's
We're
not
gonna
gonna
go
get
through their
easy.
schedule as well, like we
Like,
did the
it's not
Dash.
gonna get easy because like after this game, it's pretty much gonna be crunch time if we want
Yep.
to stay in fifth place or
Yeah.
a little bit above, because we since we rescheduled the game against LAFC, it pretty much made our life a little bit weird.
It'll be interesting, man. But we're gonna, as y'all just heard, we've been through the Dash schedule. We're gonna go through the remaining Dynamo schedule and see if we can hold on to this 6th place position. Technically it's because we're 1 point below Vancouver in 5th place, but see if we can hold this position, make a better position, or are we going to fall out just because the schedule is going to be a little tough here at the end. But this weekend's game, I'm expecting 3 points. I'm expecting a 4-1. I kind of see the team being explosive and I think they're just going to come out mad after this break and just take some precise shots, and they're going to end up in the back of the goal. We might see a couple bangers on Saturday night, man. Looking forward to it.
I hope so. That would be pretty good, especially for Ponce. He needs a lot of non on goals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, at least now he needs the MLS goal, right? He's gotten a home
Yeah,
goal.
he
He's
needs
gotten an
that.
own goal. You get an own goal, you get a home goal, you get a Leagues Cup goal. Now you need an MLS goal. So yeah, really got to continue to trend, and Ali needs to get one to break in to boost his confidence because it's crazy what that kind of talent, and he's still so nervous and raw, and he's beating himself up. So it'll be fun to see him. Most likely, Aliyu will be starting as well, and Ali coming off the bench again. But we'll see how it works out coming into this game against Toronto and what Ben's going to do. But I expect Ben's 11 to be the same 11 as always, with Coco returning and Blessing going back to the bench.
Unfortunately, but it has to happen. Yeah, Coco's back, so he's gonna have to make his way back to starting 11.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. Coco, I prefer Coco on the field over Blessing. Blessing does a lot, but yeah, I mean, Coco over Blessing, I'll take Coco. Yeah, but I'm not going to complain if it's Blessing when Coco is not there. So it's a win-win. But
Especially
yeah, man,
whenever Blessing comes off the bench, that's definitely useful.
it's yeah, because he's got the pace and he is exciting and he gets towards goal. So yeah.
But yeah, and we need to talk about the games coming up because we do have LAFC twice. The first one being away, and the second one being at home. That they're a scheduled game because of the tropical storm. And man, LAFC is on fire right now. I'm afraid of these two games because it can definitely set up a lot of expectations heading towards the end of the year and the regular season, I should say. And man, I'm definitely afraid of them. They're one of the best offensive teams in the league right now.
One, they just whooped Seattle in Leagues Cup 3-0 in Seattle, so they made the semifinal. Also, they all the Mexican teams have been knocked out of Leagues Cup as well. So it's three teams from the MLS will be getting CCC spots. So good for that, I guess. Uh, that might make I don't know if that made Liga MX mad or whatever if they want to try harder next year, but whatever, good for them. But yeah, like you said, man,
Yeah,
LAFC is sitting in second place as well in the Western Conference, but playing pretty well. Uh, Strong. They're 9-1-3 at home, and then they're 5-4-2 on the road. So it's a better chance for us to obviously get that win at home, which against any opponent it is. But we have won out in LA before, so it is possible. And we will play them. We will play well. LAFC's got Giroux playing, Giroux, or however you want to say his name, playing with them now. So they're going to bring their little stars, but let's go have fun with them back to back. At least it's not a Wednesday, Saturday back to back this time like it was
yeah.
last year. It is a Saturday back to back. We just lost a bye, which is okay. It works out.
No, it works out that we just got rested, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter for us. And we need the momentum because we do have another two tough games coming up, and one of those being our dear good friends at Real Salt Lake that we're never get tired of playing against, and we're back playing against them again. And it's gonna be another tough game. We've already seen a handful of times already this year. We know what to expect, but they're they're still a mixed bag. They find a way to get through the game, and we just have to come in and beat them again because it's RSL.
They're going to come in angry like they did. They're going to have a lot of emotions. We're going to be at home again. So they're going to be bad about that as well. And they're going to lose, and they're going to just completely, really, totally hate Shell Energy Stadium and the Houston Dynamo. And I guess it'll be one of those temporary rivalries for a while until we stop playing them at some point because we're playing them like 3-4 times a year now. Somehow, so bring it on, boys. But they're getting mad because we're eliminating them in every game. So they won't feel as good even if they do get this win. But it'll feel good for them to come into Houston and get a win. So they're gonna bring everything they got and the kitchen sink. Throw the kitchen sink at us, and we'll be ready though. We'll just see how the boys play, man. That's going to be a tough one, especially coming off a game at home though against LAFC. But you got the whole week, so no weekday games that week.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna meet them in playoffs either way, so it doesn't really matter. We'll play them again at some point.
For sure, they're
And
sitting in
yeah,
third place right now, so they're likely to stay up there as
yeah,
well.
yeah, and the week after it's gonna be very interesting because we do have two games to play. The first on Wednesday, it's gonna be back at home against Vancouver, and Vancouver is pretty good this year. We've already seen them back in Vancouver where we got our first ever win against the Whitecaps in Vancouver. I'm just gonna say it again. That was one of the best games I've ever seen from the Dynamo. Like in terms of entertainment, I still can't believe we won in Vancouver that way. But yeah, they're gonna bring the A game again here, and we just have to be ready because they're very nice. They're very nice, man. Like Fafa Pico, Sophie don't need.
Nah, I'm worried about Fafa. And Vancouver's one of those teams. Their record is equal between home and away, so they're able to play the same type of ball whether they're at home or away. And I guess they don't care about their home fans, so they're not getting those home wins. But like you said, exciting game that we took them on, and this one shouldn't be any different. Should be an exciting game and with some goals. But you know, we'll have to see if Houston's defense can lock it down and hold them down because you're going to be that possessive team, and then you'll be at home have your crowd behind you. So we'll see. I expect to be able to beat them again at home.
Yep, and that Saturday we are in Austin again, and we'll be there. But we need the dub here. Like, I'm tired. I'm just gonna say it. I'm tired, man. We just go for it. We almost had it in the first game in Austin this year, and it was ridiculous the way it played out, especially being towards the last minutes of the game. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're definitely. I feel like we're definitely a different team now, like compared to early in the year. We got to know each other very well, and man, just get the dub, please. I'm tired. I want to win in Austin. I want to see the team win in Austin, and man, come on.
Yeah, currently Austin's sitting in 10th. They're trying to push for that playoff or at least that play-in game and try to make the playoffs. They are 6-3-4 at home, so they're a good team at home. It's a rivalry game, so you throw the records out anyways. So, and then like you said, we have never won. So we'll see if those can start the trend the week before on the Friday, and then 8 days later the first team will come into Austin and hopefully do the same thing and get those 3 points and just enjoy the history right there. And we'll see who that game winner is going to come from. Maybe Hector
Yeah,
Herrera. I think that would be the dagger right
I
there.
hope so. Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, and the week after we're playing on the road against the Sounders. Seattle obviously is still a bad place for us to play historically, but hey man, if we did it in Vancouver, we can definitely do it in Seattle on turf again. But Seattle is just one of those teams that every time we play them, it's just annoying because they always find a way to just screw with us. Let it be like early in the year when we played them back in Houston, like it just happened. Um, and yeah, so hopefully they get the win here, but a result will
It's
be nice.
Seattle. They don't lose at home, but they do draw at home. So there's that opportunity. They have 2 losses at home this season. So not to say they don't lose at home though, but they're 6-2-5 at home, so it's possible to get up there and get a dub. There's like I said, they're sitting in 7th place, so they're a playoff team. So that's someone chasing us. So that could be a situation to where they might push a little harder and make a mistake as we catch them on a counter and play to our advantage. So this is coming down the stretch. 4 games left in the season at Seattle. That's going to be a huge game.
Yep, and the week after we do have the last stretch of two games in 1 week. and the first game we play is going to be against the New England Revolution back in Houston. And I don't have to say anything else. We have to win this game. Like it's required. Like we legally have to win this game. We're playing against the worst team in the league, and every time I see them play, it's kind of like there's no mathematical way of losing this game, at least for us.
And they're 3-7 on the road too. So I mean, come on. Yeah, it should be a natural 3 points no matter what. It is a Wednesday game before we travel, so you might expect a couple changes in the lineup, but it shouldn't be anything that's going to throw us off. I like our bench, and our guys can rotate as starters as well. So, like Ricky Cart said with the Dash, I think some of our subs are starters. So he didn't exactly say that, but you know what I was getting at if you listen to
Yeah,
the show.
right. Yeah, and that Saturday we do play St. Louis City on the road. Um, I feel like this is also a game we can win for sure and definitely take a result out of. St. Louis is not the same as last year. Um, they've been taking a lot of hits in terms of players that they've been missing for one reason or another, but we can get a result out of St. Louis.
This one's going to be tougher than we think. They have fired their coach this season. They did get rid of Wonder Boy, redheaded. Geez, I don't remember his name. He's
Tim Parker, our
yeah,
hero.
Tim Parker, your hero. They got rid of him, and so he's not even on the team no more. But St. Louis is 4-4-5 at home, and they have no road wins. So everything they're doing this year has been at home. So it's still a tough venue to play in. Obviously, 4 wins, 4 losses, and 5 draws. So, uh, like you said, it is a winnable game, and you would go in there being favored. You would expect to go in there and get out of the 3 points. But 2 games left in the season. They may be eliminated already from playoffs, so they may just maybe one of those games. It could be a trap
Start
game
handing
as
out
well.
points.
It could be a trap game as well too. I don't think it needs
Yeah,
to be a trap game when you don't play another game for another 7 days, but focus on your opponent. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll have to play tough. So don't underestimate St. Louis at home. Do not underestimate them because decision day is
yeah.
the following week.
Well, it will be 2 weeks from then because the
Well,
week
that's
after
true.
we do have a bye. From
International
last year,
break.
yeah, because we do have a bye after that game, and we do have decision day on the 19th, which falls on Saturday. We're playing LA Galaxy, and
First
a lot of
place.
people are gonna be buying tickets just to watch Marco Royce. But yeah, we gotta. Well, this game is gonna be insane. I've been watching LA Galaxy a little bit, and they look extremely different, and they also be contending for one of the top spots in the Western Conference. And it's gonna be a tough game to get a result out of, but we can go in and win this game for sure if they're up to it.
It's a winnable game. They're going to be most likely clinched. Are they going to be fighting for a first place or a second place finish with LAFC? It all depends on. So it depends on where LA Galaxy sit in the final game to whether they're going to push to win or they're going to play some other guys or whatever. But they are 5-4-4 on the road, so they are beatable on the road. You'll be playing at home on decision day, 8 o'clock at night. It's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. So hopefully we're fighting for a top 4 position and securing that home 3-game series, and then we move from there. So I'm expecting playoffs after this game. That's going to be that's a good way to end the season against LA Galaxy. You get a win against LA
Again,
Galaxy, yeah, and push into the playoffs coming off a win like that. So be scared of RSL whenever you get us in the first round.
right? No, yeah, just a lot of games to look forward to. And man, it's gonna get insane from here in the final stretch.
Hey, looking forward to it. There's some tough games. There's this tough stretch. There's some fun games. The trip to Austin, where the supporters will be riding the bus and getting there. Some of them will be traveling and spending the weekend there. So hopefully we'll have a good amount, but they'll be loud enough you'll be able to hear them up there. Uh, when you're sitting outside, not sitting inside, you'll be able to hear them out there. But it'll be a
Yeah,
fun game. That's the one I'm looking forward to right now for this season. But let's just get that dub. But man, I'm expecting us to make the playoffs. Can we make that run to fourth place? It's going to be hard with the schedule. The schedule isn't easy, isn't no joke. So maybe get there sixth place, right where we're sitting, is probably where we'll end up. So we'll see. Depends on what kind of run the boys can make with this run. Is there more to come? Like Anand says.
Well, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, you just wait. It's gonna be. I hope we stay in fifth place. Like sixth place is definitely good enough for sure. But just looking at the teams we have above and the teams that are trying to like climb back up, it looks crazy. The Western Conference this year is more competitive than it's been in a while. So you got to take that into consideration.
Yeah. I'm ready for it, man. Busy weekend coming up, so looking forward to that. But like you said, first Wednesday night with Dose. You'll have to watch that one, probably on Apple. I haven't looked at it yet. And then Saturday, Dynamo, all at home. Dose again on Sunday at home. 4 home games in a row. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So giving you some options on what to do this coming week.
Yeah. Another 4 games to review next week. Well, yeah, if you go to all 4 games, nice. it's just insane the amount of soccer we're getting. Like just coming off bye week for 2 teams, we're just back in the grind. 4 games straight up. Boom, there you go.
Bring it on. We're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. And as always, we appreciate your support and it's taking too long. Yeah, 1 hour almost. Like just for a slow week. You shouldn't call. I shouldn't call it a slow week. It's been eventful. I say just like stuff to look forward to heading into this week. So yeah, we appreciate your support as always, guys, and thank you for listening. And if you're able to just share our content, we definitely appreciate that for sure. Not only our episodes you can find it on Ko-Fi, also on YouTube and Goals TV, the platform that we also share along with other content creators in the soccer space. And like we just gonna keep posting content, man. Like it's gotta keep sharing it as much as possible. We need as many eyes as possible because man, you're missing out on all these teams. These guys are pretty good. Dash, hopefully they turn things around, but there's also still pretty good in a way. But well, yeah, a lot of things to look forward to.
Yep. Keep following, get your noodles ready, and I like to say, keep your H's up. And now that Texas soccer's in, keep my horns up as well.
Yes, sir. And man, those horns look like H's, so I'm definitely okay with that. So yeah, as always, guys. Yeah, just like that. And as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and stay noodle, y'all.